It's not a part-time job. And that's why you're getting this mishmash mess from these two guys.
And here's a question for you, Vince. When back in the day, back in your time, who did a lot of the recruiting? Who went out to the indie shows and did the recruiting? Was it Jim Ross?
I don't know about going to the indie shows, but yeah, Jim Ross was pretty much the guy back then. Yes.
Okay. And after him, William Regal for a long time, he actually went out to the indie shows and he did a lot of the recruiting. And so what kind of confuses me is that film, like if there's film from an indie show, if William Regal goes to an indie show, if I was William Regal, and he may do this, and Vince McMahon just may not even look at it, I would gather film from an indie show. If he sees Austin Theory at an Evolve show or whatever indie show, and Evolve is actually was on the network, so Vince McMahon could look at his own network to see footage of Austin Theory. I'm wondering why that presentation wasn't presented to Vince McMahon for him to really sink his teeth in the Austin Theory character, or Vince just saw a young kid with a nice body and said, let me just figure out what I want to do with them.
Bro, can I tell you what the problem is for both? I mean, I'm looking at AEW's rating again, and 860,000. Like I said, when NXT when NXT went off a different night, and all of a sudden AEW was drawing 1 million people, I said, bro, they're going to drop below the 1 million. They're not going to be able to maintain the 1 million. Chris, let me explain something to you, because I was in the spot, Chris. Chris, being the head writer of a show is a 24/7 job. When I was the head writer of Raw and SmackDown, that was my job, bro. 7 days a week. Yep. That's all I concentrated on. That's all I did. Okay, bro? You're looking at two guys now in Vince and in Tony Khan that wear 15 other hats. And they're not spending the time with creative and with new talent coming in and develop. They're not spending the time that it takes, bro. Yeah. It's a full-time job, Chris. Yeah. And that's why you're getting what you're getting, because Vince is juggling everything else in the company. Tony Khan, bro, I swear to God, I crack up, because every time they talk about him on a site, he's got like 6 titles in front of his name. Like every time there's a new title. Bro, head writer, head booker, whatever you want to call it, is a full-time job. So if Vince Russo is doing this job, JR is telling me, Vince, this kid Austin Theory is ready. That's what JR is telling me. All right, Vince, no problem, bro. When can I get together with Austin Theory? I will have my one-on-one with Austin Theory. Bro, I will get so far into his head to find out what makes this guy tick, what makes him different than everybody else, what does he thrive on? That's where we develop the character, bro. Then I would personally produce the vignettes for like 6 weeks before we ever see the guy. Then we continue those vignettes right into this. This ain't a part-time job, bro. Correct. It's not a part-time job. And that's why you're getting this mishmash mess from these two guys, because whatever reason, bro, they don't call it ego, call it whatever you want, call it Khan being a mark, whatever you want. They don't want to hand the reins over to a professional head writer whose priority this is going to be 24/7. And that's why you're getting what you're getting, bro.
Yeah, and it's quite obvious that we see that as well. And they have the revenue for it. I mean, they have the
Of
overhead.
course they
for
do.
It.
Of
Yeah.
course they do, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Bro,
they're making...
I was on the phone talking creative and talking the upcoming show with these guys as soon as I was done writing the show. So the show's done. I'm sending it out to Rock and these guys. Now I'm on the phone with Vince. Don't have time to do that.
No.
And if Tony Khan has time to do that, then the rest of his company is going to be suffering. That is a full-time job, bro. It never stops, man.
Yeah.